This podcast is brought to you by Radio 786.
Radio 786 100.4 FM. This is Legal Hour. And today we're introducing the High Court. Our guest is Nicola Hanekom, Acting Chief Registrar at the Office of Chief Justice, and Ms Debbie van Eeden at the Office of Chief Justice. Now, the Office of Chief Justice, or OCJ, has partnered with Radio 786 for a weekly radio outreach program. So this program takes place over the next 6 weeks. So access to the justice is at the core of the OCJ's mandate. As such, it is the organization's duty to ensure that members of the public are aware of the services afforded to them at the superior courts. So public awareness around court processes remains a vital element in ensuring access to justice and the understanding of the role of the superior courts. And so today we speak about introducing the High Court. And as I've mentioned, my guest today is Nicola Hanekom, and she is the Acting Chief Registrar at the Office of Chief Justice. So let's just do the welcomes. Nicola, hearty welcome and good afternoon.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having us.
Fantastic. And then, of course, the second guest that I've also mentioned is Debbie van Eeden, and she's at the Office of Chief Justice. Debbie, a hearty welcome and good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. All right, so let's get a better understanding then. When we speak of the High Court or Superior Courts, and as I've mentioned in my introduction, we're going to be speaking about the High Court. So before we speak about, Nicola, what services are offered by the court, maybe we must understand, what the High Court is about, and what, when we say High Court, how is it different to any other courts?
Okay, so we have various types of courts in South Africa. We start with the lower courts, which are your magistrates' courts, your regional courts, and then we have the higher courts, which are the various provinces' high courts, and then we'll move on to the Supreme Court of Appeal and the Constitutional Court. So you can almost call it like a hierarchy of the different types of courts. So my colleague Debbie and myself, we are stationed at the Western Cape High Court, and each division in each province has its own high court or multiple seats of high courts.
Okay, fantastic. So what services are offered by the court?
Okay, so the High Court in general offers a wide range of legal services. We administer both civil and criminal cases. We do appeals and reviews from the lower courts, which come to us as an appeal court. We do matters involving a person's status, like a divorce matter or adoption matters, or even insolvency matters. And then the coastal town high courts also do shipping matters, or what we call admiralty matters. These are obviously just general types of matters that we deal with. The High Court also authenticates or apostilles documents which are used in foreign countries. So we legalize and authenticate those types of documents. So if I just elaborate a little bit on the types of cases that I've mentioned now, civil cases, this is where we have two private entities or two private individuals, or possibly like a company and an individual that are litigating against one another regarding a certain type of dispute. This is normally involving monetary amounts which exceed 400,000 Rand. Then under the criminal cases, we've got the state versus a private individual who's committed a criminal offense. They've contravened, some legislation. And normally the High Court is only dealing with the serious criminal cases, which are determined by the Director of Public Prosecutions. Then I mentioned the appeals and reviews. We do both criminal appeals. So that is, for example, where the magistrate's court or the regional court has made or has convicted a person and they now want to appeal the conviction or the sentence that comes to the High Court. And then we also do the appeals and reviews of the civil matters. So same thing, a lower court has made a decision about a matter. One of the parties is not happy with the outcome. They have that option, that recourse to approach the High Court to appeal or review their decision. It's important to note, though, that that's within our jurisdiction. So we can deal with appeals or reviews which come from lower courts that are situated within the Western Cape. We also deal with reviews of the tribunals like the CSOS or the National Consumer Tribunal. Those kinds of reviews we also deal with at the High Court. We deal with matters of status. So that's when it comes to matters of divorce, adoption, dealing with someone's estate. For example, you want to apply to be placed under sequestration, or you want to place a company under liquidation. Those are the kinds of matters that we refer to when we say status. And then one of the last types of matters is constitutionality, matters of constitutionality. So the High Court can interpret the Constitution, and we can declare laws. Well, I say we, the judges, can declare laws or executive decisions that the that government has taken. We can declare those invalid if the Constitution is violated. And these types of orders are then normally referred to the Constitutional Court, once our judges have made a decision on the constitutionality. And then just as a last point, the High Court also encompasses specialized courts, such as the Income Tax Court, the Labour Courts, the Electoral Courts, the Land Claims Courts. Those are for very specific types of matters, involving labor disputes or income tax disputes, those kind of things. The High Court even goes as far as dealing with those types of disputes, even equality court matters. Okay. Those normally begin at the magistrate's court, but then often they come to us in an appeal situation. So yes, as you can hear, we deal with lots of different types of matters.
Absolutely, really vast, and thank you so much for that. And so, Debbie, coming to you then, what are the jurisdictions of the High Court and Magistrates Court?
Okay, thank you. So, as Nicola described, there are two different parts of matters, which is civil matters and criminal matters. So with civil matters, the High Court deals with monetary amounts of exceeding 400,000 rand. The regional court deals with matters involving monetary amounts between 200,000 and 400,000 rand. The Magistrates Court is 200,000 rand and below, and then you've got the Small Claims Court at the Magistrates Court, which is dealing with matters of monetary values of 20,000 rand and below. That is the jurisdiction of the civil matters. With criminal matters, it is important to note that all criminal matters emanated from the lower court. Okay. They, with the Department of Public Prosecutions, will usually determine whether the matter should be referred to the High Court, which is done by way of indictment, and then a transfer from lower courts. So the matter will normally emanates from the lower court. Bail applications will be held at the lower court. Investigations will be held at the lower court, and from there on, it will. When the public prosecuting know or decided that it's ready for trial at High Court, they will indict the matters they will send the matters to the High Court with an indictment. And then, the High Court has also got a broad criminal jurisdiction, particularly for serious offences and appeals from the lower courts. Serious criminal cases can include rape, murder, and treason. And as I said, those matters are coming from the lower court by way of indictment by the prosecution.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Debbie. So can court officials offer legal advice to the public, Nicola?
In general, no. we may not offer legal advice to any person. Only practicing legal practitioners, we use the word legal practitioners broadly. This covers both attorneys and advocates. Only legal practitioners may give formal legal advice. While you find that most court staff members, court officials are legally trained, such as Debbie and myself, we are both admitted attorneys. Even though we are legally trained, we are not permitted to give legal advice to members of the public. That is not the role or capacity that we are appointed in at the High Court.
Okay, all right. So how does one lodge a complaint, Debbie?
Okay, there are a few options available to those who would like to make a complaint. The first one is to contact the court manager at the court where the complaint is from. To lodge a complaint at the High Court at Cape Town or any at the High Court, you can approach the court manager directly to discuss your complaint and seek a resolution. You may do so in person or by writing a formal letter, which can be submitted in person or via email. The second way you can submit a complaint is online on the South African Judiciary or the OCJ. We have set up a dedicated email addresses for each division for lodging complaints, each with the judiciary website for specific instructions and relevant email addresses. And then if you are dissatisfied with the initial response, you can escalate the issue to the director of the court operations or the provincial head for the relevant division or the province. Alternatively, you can contact the Office of the Chief Justice, that's the national office in Midrand. Then the last option that you can do is for complaints against judges. You may submit a sworn statement or an affidavit to the JSC, that's the Judicial Service Commission. The Chief Justice will then determine the seriousness of the complaint and how it should be handled.
Yep, okay, thank you so much for that. Now, just in wrapping up, because we have run out of time, I think just in wrapping up, then while we, Debbie, maybe just your final comment for just to wrap up.
Yes, the High Court is here to assist everyone, including laypersons, and we are especially going out of our way to assist lay people. That is people that don't have attorneys representing them, and we pride ourselves in doing it.
Providing a service to the public, and all of our staff members do the same.
Yes, do the extra. We walk the extra way for especially lay litigants.
Oh wow! All right, thank you so much, Debbie. Nicola, was that the little bit that you chipped in now? Was that it?
Yes, thank you. And we're really excited to be doing this segment and to be able to elaborate on all the different services that we offer. I think it's, most people don't know what we do inside this big building. So
True.
It's really, really nice to be offered the opportunity to go and over the next few weeks go and cover all the different sections and elements that, the High Court encompasses.
Fantastic. Looking forward to our next chat, Debbie and Nicola. It's true what you say. We don't know what goes on in those big, big buildings, and it's really scary. When we hear court and we hear High Court, we shake in our boots. So thank you so much for your time. Looking forward to our next chat. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.